Men, what are some of your male-specific life hacks? Story 1. If a guy questions your honor, like, what are you going to do about it, you little witch? Back down and walk away. Your life, health, and the lack of assault on your criminal record are all worth more than your sense of pride. Take a deep breath, put your hands up, palms out in front of you, and say, whoa, I think we got off the wrong foot here. My bad. If their stance shifts from aggressive to unsure, lower your hands and hold one out to shake and introduce yourself with a smile. Offer to buy them a drink. Make a friend. If they stay aggressive, at least you 1. Have your hands up to protect yourself, and 2. Everyone around you saw your attempt to de-escalate. If the guy stops talking and starts swinging, you've lost the ability to communicate your way out. You should start fighting to the end of the fight as quickly as possible. Hit him in the throat or the nuts, any sort of injury that will provoke an immediate spinal reflex. The point where the brain isn't making decisions, the spinal cord is, will work. Lots of people will think of this as too calculated and violent, but the truth is that plenty of people die from wild haymakers. It's much better to do calculated damage that the person will survive than to end them by accident. As soon as they've recoiled and are down, get away as quickly as you can. Story 2. Keep your beard moisturized with oil or balm and also comb and trim it. The things a little balm did to a beard full of errant hairs I just couldn't brush down or trim away. Magical stuff. I used the balm from Honest Amish. The texture took a little getting used to on my hands, but it smells subtle but nice and leaves a nice shine. Admittedly, I bought this on the recommendation of a friend when I had never used a beard balm before. I've only used this one. My frame of reference could be better, but I haven't had the desire to buy a different balm. It will look a lot more attractive. Nobody wants to look at that gamey, wild, unruly, roadkill-looking beard that makes you look homeless. Take care of your beards, fellas. There are so many YouTube videos that explain the basics. Or go to a barber. A barber charges $25 to give me a decent haircut and trim my beard. They'll line up everything as well. Keep a well-groomed beard and you'll get compliments. Story 3. Trim and file your nails. It's more comfortable on your fingers. Plus, your female companions will appreciate the smooth feeling. Wash and lotion your private parts. Be thorough with the washing to ensure that you smell less. The lotion makes the skin soft and desirable to touch. Wear clothes that fit you well. This applies to any style from suits to hoodies and jeans. Clothes that are too big or too small make you look out of proportion. I know it can be difficult to know which clothes fit us well. I'm 5'6", and there are only a few options for me. The biggest issue I find is that shirts are too long in the same arms for me. I have 31-inch arms, and men's dress shirts start at 32 to 33. I have to roll up my sleeves every time. It can be really frustrating. Luckily, my girlfriend loves it when I have my sleeves rolled up. The best advice for this is to keep experimenting with different styles and modifications until you find one that lets you be comfortable and look good. Story 4. Always carry roadside essentials in your vehicle. Jumper cables, a small jack, a 4-way lug wrench, road flares, and maybe an MRE or two. Eventually, these will come in handy. They can all easily fit in a truck without sacrificing any real cargo space. Carry a bladed weapon. I never used to carry one until about a year ago. I've used it nearly every day since. It's quite amazing how many uses you will get out of it. Seriously, carry one. Don't worry about being an amazing cook unless you want to, but every man should know how to prepare 1 or 2 dishes better than the average guy. Preferably 1 breakfast dish and 1 dinner dish. Go to a barber shop. Barbers are generally more skilled in the cutting of hair than unisex salon employees, and the haircut is much faster due to them not needing a guard on their clippers. They can also give you the best shave of your life. At all times, have at least 1 clean shirt with a collar. You never know when you might need to dress up a bit. Finally, use aftershave. Most are alcohol-based, and this will work fine as long as it doesn't dry out your skin too much. If you find this to be the case, switch to a non-alcohol-based alternative. Aftershave makes you smell great, improves the condition of your skin, and is just manly. Story 5. Job satisfaction from a blue-collar job is generally higher than from a white-collar job, although pay may be lower. Find a niche and be a contractor and the sky opens up, especially if you hire a crew. Don't get down with the HR ladies. For every one moment you are proud of your child for, taking the first step, the first day of school, or whatever, there will be 100 moments of embarrassment, annoyance, toiling raising the damn thing. Some car repairs require professionals, but the vast majority don't. Pick up a Haynes manual from a car parts store, and whenever you need service or fail an inspection or whatever, review how hard the task is. YouTubing said repair in action also explains tons. Examples: a typical windshield wiper replacement is $45, but the parts are $10 to $15 and take 5 minutes to install. I also needed 2 new tie rods to pass inspection. The quote was for $175 a piece. The part was $25 from Advance Auto. It took 3 hours to replace the first one, and 45 minutes to replace the second one. Pro tip: a little elbow grease and a good wrench set is ample replacement for air tools. In the same theme as the previous, home repairs are often easier than you think. With the internet age, no longer are things like AC, heat, plumbing, or electrical a mystery. Again, the basics of everything can be found online in video form. I don't take on too much electrical, but residential plumbing is a breeze. Shaving in the shower will extend the life of your Mach 3 to 2 to 3 months. Don't work in IT. You will always be considered an overhead cost and never a revenue generator, like a sales guy, lawyer, or etc. The hours go up as you get higher up. I'm on my way out and not looking back. In college, get the syllabus and see if any homework will be directly out of the textbook. If not, hop on Amazon and buy the edition before yours, or maybe two. Despite what anyone says, the content will still be close. I did this over and over and saved tons. A large bed should be your first purchase out of college, queen or king-sized. If you want to be a mid-level manager for a Fortune 500 company, then go get your MBA. Be prepared for tons of work. I dropped out halfway, but the ones who kept with it and switched jobs got an average of 10 grand more per year. Friends of mine who didn't average maybe 5 grand per job switch. The time it takes is hardly worth it. Story 6. Cooking. Learn it. 3 basic meals to get you fed and happy, and 1 snack. Spaghetti with meatballs, mincemeat, breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, herbs if you have them, and an egg. Mash together and make some smallish meatballs. Cook them half through. Remove from the pan, put some diced onions in the pan and soften them. Throw in garlic, herbs, and chili. When they smell, put in a tin of tomatoes. Add in the meatballs and simmer. Cook some spaghetti and put it in the pan. A magically awesome meal, cooked quickly. You look awesome. Cook any meat, chicken, steak, snaggers, etc., and do roast veggies for them. Peel and cut some potatoes. Boil them. Take them out and drain them. Rough them up some by flipping them in the saucepan or the colander. Put them in a baking tray with some similar-sized carrots and a couple of onions cut in half or quarters. Sprinkle with salt, pepper, and olive oil. Herbs if you got them, garlic too. Put them in a hot oven, 200 degrees Celsius for an hour. Roast veggies with any protein will make you look like a god. And if they don't like roast potatoes, well, they can leave. Do this with any vegetable like pumpkin, parsnips, beetroot, whatever is cheap at the time. Cut to similar sizes so cooking time is about the same. Baking, like anything, it impresses. But basic cookies are, well, basic. 150 grams butter, 1/2 cup brown sugar, 1 egg. Whisk butter and eggs till smooth. Add in egg and whisk till smooth. Sift in 1 3/4 cups of plain sour, self-raising works as well, and stir. Mix in chocolate bits. Put balls on tray. Spread them out. They will spread. Bake for 15 minutes or until golden. Remove. Let cool. The basic recipe is great with other things like nuts and golden syrup. You really can't screw this up. They are quick and cheap. If that doesn't work, do a crumble. Get some apples or pears, whatever is in season. Dice up around 4 to 5 decent-sized bits of fruit. If you have some preserved ginger, throw a smidge of that in. Put around 100 ml of water in the saucepan with them. A couple of teaspoons of sugar won't hurt. Bring to a gentle boil. While that is happening, get some butter and start kneading it into some flour. Keep kneading and adding butter until it resembles breadcrumbs that stick together. Put the fruit in a casserole dish, then put the crumble on top. Whack that in an oven around 150 degrees Celsius until it goes golden on top. Serve with cream or ice cream. You're welcome. All along, I thought cooking was a gender-neutral act, but I guess it can be male-specific since a lot of men don't learn how to cook. Are you digging these life hack tips? If you do and love these kinds of threads, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. While you're at it, ring the notification bell and be updated when I post new videos that feature threads like this. Story 7. When it comes to planning your wedding, if you want to keep it cheap, you can control 80% of the cost of the wedding by only making 20% of the decisions. Don't get all bent out of shape over napkins or flowers. Do put your foot down when it comes to the venue, the music, the food, and the booze. Getting married this summer, so it's been nuts. I told her I wanted good music and good food, and everything else should be what she wanted. Flowers, table decorations, souvenirs, etc. So much less stress this way. Now that we're getting down to the wire, I told her to give me a to-do list for her to help out, but design is still her choice. So far, so good. Story 8. Get yourself a double-edged safety razor, a brush, and some shaving soap, provided you need to shave at least semi-regularly. My last mass-produced razor was a Gillette Fusion, and replacement heads were $20 to $30 for 4. I can get 200 to 300 double-edged razor blades for that price. A can of shaving cream lasts a couple of weeks. 1 tin of shaving soap lasts me nearly double-digit months. I only spent $50 on my razor, though you can spend much, much more. And the company Edwin Jagger sent me a replacement head for free when I dropped mine on the tile and broke it. To be honest, it was a known fault with the older DE89s. It is easier to cut myself if I'm not paying attention, but at the same time, the double-edged razor requires far fewer passes to get all of the stubble, which means much less razor burn than I was getting with a Fusion. Really, the only downside is the initial investment, but I've easily saved hundreds in the 5 to 6 years since I switched. Your granddad knew how to shave. The industry has been moving backwards for decades. Yup, I agree with this. My grandpa taught my dad, who taught me the tricks to a good shave. Story 9. When you wake up in the middle of the night to take a whiz and your flag is at half-mast, sit down on the toilet. You'll avoid many mornings of a yellow speckled toilet seat. Sitting down to take a whiz also means you don't have to turn the lights on. This trick also works whenever you have to tingle with a half-cocked handgun. I personally also like to go out in my backyard and take a whiz in the grass. It feels like I'm camping, and I give the lawn a little extra moisture. Plus, my toilet seat has never been cleaner. Story 10. Urinals have specific points where you can take a whiz on and prevent splash. Instead of aiming at the drain, aim at the 45 degree against the wall instead of directly at it. That's what the protractors are there for. Just make sure you wash them after you use them. Some urinals have a marker in the bowl in the optimal spot to aim for. I've mainly seen them at the Seattle-Tacoma Airport, where they're a little spiral design. Some have a picture of a fly on them, while others use a bee or a logo that marks the spot. Story 11. Always get the door for a lady, but the trick is to not appear like you give a damn that you're doing it. Ladies that dig it will thank you, and you can give them a "you're welcome." Ladies that don't will just blow past you. But hey, you don't care, do you? No, you don't. Opening the door for people older than you is always advised, especially if a female is coming in behind them. I've yet to not be thanked by an elderly person when I held the door for them. Story 12. I'm 27 years old. I believe in taking care of myself and a balanced diet and a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on the face, an exfoliating gel scrub. Then I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol, because alcohol dries your face out and makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion. These are nice and all, but it's not for me. Story 13. Holding your breath diverts blood to your head and lungs, so the stiffness goes away. Flexing a large muscle also helps in getting rid of stiffness. It works because you are focusing on something else. Having blood rush to your head and lungs is fine, but the blood in your member won't budge until that muscle relaxes. So flexing a different muscle will relax the muscle in your member. Story 14. Something I learned from the ladies. Don't wash your hair every day. My best hair days are always 24 to 48 hours after applying shampoo. Your hair gets greasy instantly for a while because by washing all the grease out of your hair, you're signaling your head to produce more grease and oil to make up for what you're washing off. When you've got time, convert to an every other day cycle with shampoo. Rinse every day. Your hair will be greasier for a bit but will level out after a while. Story 15. Wipe any whiz spills off the toilet rim, you heathens. I have several friends in their late 30s who seem to think toilets and the surrounding floor tiles should be covered in whiz at all times. It's gross. It really is. When I moved out, I started bleaching 90% of my bathroom because of this. Also, close the damn seat before you flush. You're letting who knows how much filth into the air by flushing while the seat is up, but please put it back down as a courtesy to your female counterparts. Story 16. Confirm wind direction before peeing off a cliff. On the same note, never pee up a slope, even if it's slight. Always pee downhill. The young me didn't take heed to this. Took a whiz off a cliff. The whiz was supposed to go down. The whiz instead came up. And make sure no friends are behind you. Your only defense is turning around and letting loose on them. Well, peeing up a cliff would just be silly. Story 17. When you clip your fingernails, file them down to a soft file afterwards, and you won't have sharp corners or weird edges. Seems girly, but I do it every time and it feels 10 times better than not doing it. And the ladies appreciate it. Run your nails on the inside of your cheeks to see if they would be comfortable enough for your lady when you change their oil. I guess if it's too girly for some, they can always use sandpaper. Story 18. When listening to your significant other vent or tell you about her day, do not share your opinion on anything unless she asks, and even if she does ask, choose your words wisely. Offer sympathy and understanding, but not advice. Sometimes all your significant other wants to hear is, "That sucks." Story 19. If you're in a setting where shots are being done bro style, and please don't tell me how you only sip single malt scotch that's been aged 12 years, and you don't want to make the grossed out face afterward, here's what to do. Put the shot glass to your lower lip, open mouth wide. Try to swoosh your tongue as far back as you can. Tilt back your head while simultaneously appending the shot glass's contents. Swallow quickly. Do not swish around. Alternately, be a manly man. Man, this tip is just what I need to level up my drinking game. Story 20. Maybe you need to read a list of man hacks to validate your masculinity, but never ever condone misogyny. Lots of men think they are funny and manly when they repeat anti-feminist one-liners they read from the internet. They are wrong. A good comeback to "make me a sandwich" is simply, "that sounds like something someone with a small junk would say." Yes, it doesn't make any sense, but nobody said that it needed to. Other men will laugh at their shamed brother while women will remember how you bravely took a stand against bigotry. They might even sleep with you if you're lucky, but not many are that shallow. Story 21. Find a brand of socks you like. Throw away all your others. They probably have holes in them anyway, and only buy that brand or color. For example, I buy black McGregors and white Nikes only. No more mismatched socks, ever. They all match, and it doesn't matter if you lose one. Story 22. If you are an average guy and want to attract an above-average girl, don't bother spending hours in the gym, buy a fast car you don't need and can't afford, or manscaping whatever it is. Work on your career. Make something of yourself. Graduate from college, get a job, own your own place. The creature in nature you want to mimic isn't the peacock, the bull, or the peregrine falcon. It's the bowerbird. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I'm sure you'll also enjoy What's Your Dirty Little Secret? Story 5 is so hilariously dumb. See you on that video.